Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Rin Reviews. If you couldn't guess already, today I am reviewing the new Fantastic Four First Steps movie. Now, before getting into the review and everything, there are a bunch of specialty popcorn buckets for this movie. I didn't get the Galactus just because it was super expensive, and my theater that's closest to me, they only had 10, and so I got there a little bit too late to be able to get one anyways. But I did go to AMC and I got the popcorn bucket I was really wanting to get, which was the Herbie popcorn bucket. This is one of my most favorite popcorn buckets like ever. This is such a cool popcorn bucket. It's pretty big too, as you can see, but yeah, the top of the head here, this twists off, and this is like the cup and everything. And then right on the back here is the speaker where it plays the music. So plays the music through there. And then this lights up projection. I'll show that in a second with the lights off and everything. And then on the front here, this little spot is for the candy. And on the back, this is for the popcorn. So overall, this popcorn bucket is peak. Like the Herbie head and everything, and like the arms move and all that stuff. It's so cool. I absolutely love this thing. But yeah, let's take a look at the projection on the back wall there. Yeah, so there's the projection. It does have each of the like names and everything on there. So on the top it says Richards, and then it says like Grimm, and then Storm. So I mean, super super cool that it has like a projection and everything, and that it you know plays music and all that stuff. Like I think this popcorn bucket is super, super cool. But now that we've gotten popcorn bucket review out of the way, overall, this movie is an absolute 10 out of 10 for me. I can understand why people wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10, but for me personally, these characters, I just love them so much. The Fantastic Four is like my favorite superhero team ever, and the Fantastic Four in general are some of my favorite superheroes ever. So finally getting, like a proper MCU Fantastic Four movie just brings me so much joy and makes me super super happy. Like Johnny Storm is like one of my favorite characters of all time. So the fact that like we're actually getting to see like a proper MCU version of like Johnny, Reed, Sue, and Ben is just absolutely incredible. One of my like biggest positives for this movie is the cast in general. Like Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards is like the perfect casting. Like the tone of his voice and just the way that he speaks and the mannerisms in his speech are just so perfect to what Reed should be, where he's got that like semi cockiness, but like the very like nerdiness, very smart ass kind of thing to him. It's just so perfect. And then in general, like there's several moments where he's like, "Oh, I don't know what to do," and that makes me scared. And like that is the most Reed Richards thing ever. And like the way he says it is in the most Reed Richards way possible. And then Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, also an absolutely perfect casting. I still see people saying that he's not attractive enough to be Johnny Storm, but I honestly completely disagree. Also, just like his cockiness and like actually using the fact that like Johnny is a smart person. And so rather than demeaning him to just his looks and being like a ladies man and everything, actually having him do some stuff where he like uses his intelligence really really had me like overjoyed that they actually did that. And then Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm was also an incredible casting. Like the dynamic between her and Pedro as Reed was so so perfect, and like her dynamic as being a mother and everything was just so well written and so well done. And then Eben as the Thing was also such a perfect casting. Like, he is genuinely such a good Ben Grimm. Like, how close he is with, Reed and everything, and like their relationship as well was just so perfectly done, which is such an important thing because when you look at the Fantastic Four, they are seen as like a family, but Ben is like the only one that isn't like actual, like proper family, because you have Sue and Johnny, who are brother and sister, Reed and Sue being married. So Reed's in that family. Johnny's his brother-in-law. But Ben is the only one that's kind of like not like family by blood or by relationship, but he's such a close friend and such a close person to all of them that he is part of the family. And with this movie, they showed that absolutely perfectly. And Eben did a great job at showing why Ben Grimm is actually such an important part to the Fantastic Four family. And then Julia Garner as Shala Ball, Silver Surfer, was absolutely incredible. Like, the CGI looked great. I'm assuming there was also a lot of makeup involved, which it looked great. Just the like silver and stuff, it just looked incredible. There's just like no other way to describe how cool it looked. It was just so cool. And there was also just so many scenes with Silver Surfer that looked like ripped straight from comics, and it just looked so cool. And like actually being like surfing in some of the scenes like just looked absolutely incredible. And then also Ralph Ineson as Galactus was absolutely like terrifying. Like, his voice is so perfect for Galactus, like it's insane. And just some of the lines he says are so like terrifying and menacing, and with his voice and the way that his voice sounds and just the way that Galactus looks in all the scenes, it's just so like it's just terrifying the way that he is. And that's exactly what Galactus needs to be. So I'm so glad that they've like finally done a like actually good comic accurate Galactus in a movie. Another really huge positive for me was just like the cinematography and everything in general. Like, CGI looked incredible. The scenes when they're in space look amazing and so vibrant and colorful. And then just the fact that there was a lot of practical stuff that went into everything is just so cool, and is exactly what I want to see in more of these movies, is more practical stuff rather than just fully like green screened and CGI'd sets and things. Some of my favorite parts of like the cinematography and everything was when you have moments of Johnny kind of flying past the camera as like Human Torch. He on the like camera lens, there's like lens flares and everything to show the like fire and stuff going by, and like that's just such an incredible cool touch that makes you feel so much more immersed with the movie. And then there's also like scenes where there's rubble being tossed around and you see kind of like dirt getting kicked up onto the camera lens and everything, and again makes you feel so immersed. And then there is one quick scene, that scene from the trailer with Ben in the water and everything, and the water going on the camera lens, again just making you feel so immersed with the movie and feel like you're like there with them and everything, experiencing it. It just enhances the experience of the movie so much, and it's such a great like camera tool that I really hope we see more of that in the future of like superhero movies in general, but more specifically of Marvel movies. And the score by Michael Giacchino is absolutely incredible. One of the best scores of a Marvel movie ever, in my opinion. But yeah, with that all being said, I would definitely recommend you to go watch this, especially if you're a Marvel fan or a fan of the Fantastic Four, or just like a superhero fan in general. Just everything about this movie is so incredible, and I'm definitely going to be watching this at least another couple times. This movie is now like my favorite MCU movie ever, but definitely also make sure you stick around for the 2 end credit scenes, and there is a little like remembrance note thing for Jack Kirby at the very end as well, which I thought was really cool, and I'm super happy that they did do some sort of thing for Jack Kirby. But yeah, with all that, I will see you guys in the next video.
I herald his beginning. I herald your end. I herald Galactus.